Hello and welcome to FinextraTV. I'm Hannah Wallace and we're at the Communify Insights Experience in London. With me now is the Deputy Mayor, Business and Growth, Howard Dawber. Howard, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thanks very much for having me.
Really good to have you on and stepping away from the busy event, and what an exciting event it is as well. We're going to be talking about innovation, new technologies such as artificial intelligence, and how that is transforming the financial industry. It's also particularly relevant because we're here in the financial hub that is London. So tell me, why is London so attractive for AI adoption and fintechs compared to other cities globally? Let's start there.
Well, I would think there's a few things happening at the same time that I'd talk about. One is that London is one of the world's great cities. It has been for centuries. We're one of the world's great trading cities. The financial sector in London is extremely strong. Depending on how you look at it and depending how you measure it, we're either number one or number two global financial hub. We're number three centre in the world for Fintech. So we've got really underlying strengths that have been there for years. What we've had over the last 10 years, I'd say, is an interesting rollercoaster sort of period, from obviously Brexit, which changed a lot of things, through COVID, through some economic turmoil, through a lot of changes of policy, and we're now entering a new era of, first of all, a bit of stability. Mm-hmm. So we've got a mayor that's re-elected for a third term. Obviously, I work for Sadiq, who's there until 2028 with a very strong mandate for growth and a plan for growth. We've got a government that's made growth its number one priority. They're there until 2029. So a bit of stability and an opportunity to redefine London's relationship with the outside world. So signing, the UK signing trade deals with the US, first country to do so, with India. It's been a long time coming. A new relationship with the EU, which is much more pragmatic and based on mutual self-interest, not so ideological. Mm-hmm. That's really shifted London into this position of being a safe haven in a world that's getting very complicated and interesting. Mm-hmm. Probably a bit more dangerous than interesting. And at the same time, we've got this amazing flowering of new industries coming out of London, particularly out of our fantastic education university sector, where through things like artificial intelligence, what we're calling a sort of wave of frontier innovation, where the ideas now are being generated in London, whereas before we were very good at taking other people's ideas and turning them into businesses. Now London's the place where these new ideas are coming up. So AI, the tech sector generally, in music, sport, the creative sector, in what we call the experience economy, in life sciences, and there's a lot of crossover. So, for example, these life sciences relies on security of data, enormous data sets that you work through to create your drugs, to do your drug development and so on. A lot of the basic competences there are the same as people use in fintech. So there's a real crossover between some of our growth sectors, and that's really exciting.
So what does success look like in, say, 2030 in the realm of AI and fintechs in London?
Wow. So we've got, like I said, probably the number three fintech sector in the world. We've had some really good, £1.5 billion of investment in London fintechs just last year. So it's a very, very strong sector. I would hope that by 2030, there's been more of an international growth of fintechs from other countries choosing London as the place to internationalise through. Next week, the mayor and I are going off to Africa with a delegation that is predominantly made up of fintech businesses, actually. Yeah. Because Lagos, Cape Town, really exciting stuff going on in the fintech sector. We're going to be talking to them about the synergies between some of our fast-growing fintechs from London who may be able to provide services, do joint ventures and so on with African banks, African businesses, but also to provide a platform in London for those businesses from Africa who are going, okay, we've done Africa now, we're strong in Africa, we want to internationalise, where do we go? And we're saying London is the place you want to go. Don't go to Dubai, don't go to New York, come to London and use London as a base to then go global. So because London, coming from London to New York, much easier than going from, say, Lagos to New York as a business, because we will take you through the, a less less painful experience in terms of the regulation, in terms of, you know, getting the team together than if you went to New York or LA cold. Same with Dubai. Lots of business from London doing business from London across the Middle East and Africa. So as a platform for globalization for fintech businesses, whether that's homegrown or coming in from other countries, I think we're unparalleled actually.
Well, I'm really looking forward to hearing more about that trip. As you say, the message is come to London. So following that, what advice would you end on for founders building fintech and AI-based companies in London?
Well, if you're already in London, then you will know this, but the networks are what I would say really put London ahead of other places. The strength of support you get, firstly from our offices, from London and Partners, from Innovate UK, and also from some of the great spaces we've got like Level 39 at Canary Wharf, which support fintechs to grow, shared experience, shared opportunities for, you know, joint ventures, for merging, for investment and so on. But that crossover between AI and fintech, I would say, we've got now 2,689 AI businesses in London. That is now ahead of New York. It's ahead of France and Germany put together just for London. Last year, we outperformed the Bay Area in terms of AI-based funding rounds. More funding rounds here, 172 than the Bay Area's 164. So AI is really where it's at. And that crossover between fintech and AI, London is the fulcrum of that. And meeting those people, engaging with them, finding out what's going on, that would be my top tip, is look at what's happening next, because London is probably the place that's going to be. Some
significant numbers there and sound advice to end on. Howard, thank you so much for sharing your insights. I'll let you get back to the event.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.